So the first year post-transplant, were there any challenges or hurdles you had to overcome?
Yeah, I feel like the first year post was like the hardest year of my entire life.
Right.
Like just so I was so anxious. I had really bad anxiety. Like just the smallest things would make me really anxious. And I feel like I had like a bit of depression going on. I think the whole ordeal that I'd been through just kind of caught up with me.
Yeah. Yep.
Um, and yeah, I went and saw a psych, and I think that's really important for people to go and, see a psychologist and talk through everything, because
Yep.
there's so much going on, like having been sick for so long and then all of a sudden you're well.
Yeah.
And it's just such a change to what you're used to. And I feel like so much of my identity was tied to cystic fibrosis. Like I still have CF, but not in the way that I had it before.
Mm.
Um, my lungs don't have CF anymore, so I wasn't coughing, I wasn't short of breath, and I just felt like I couldn't relate as much to the CF community, which was
Right. So it's a little bit of a lost identity sort of thing
yeah,
for you. Even
yeah,
though you're well, you'd sort of lost that part of you that you'd become sort of known for.
yeah, and I feel like I really grieved that, like,
Mm.
and yeah, it was just so weird. But then at the same time, you're trying, you're supposed to be happy and grateful and you should be living your best life, but you're feeling, well, I was feeling so miserable.
Mm.
And I just really couldn't find joy in anything. Like I was forcing myself to do all these things, like, make sure I was going for starting my day with a walk on the beach and
Yeah.
taking my dogs for a walk and doing this and doing that to try and feel good inside, and just nothing would bring me any joy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, and so I went back to work thinking that maybe I needed some purpose.
Mm.
And then work was just really hard because I'm a youth worker and I'm dealing with all these problems that other people have, and I just didn't have any empathy.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't deal with that right now.
Yeah.
Like I've
Yeah.
got my own stuff going on. So my husband was going through a bit as well. He was struggling with, like, everyone would, obviously everyone cared, but everyone would always be like, how's Jackie going, like, how's she going, and no one ever asked him how he
Yeah.
was going, even though he just lived this whole thing as well and nearly lost his wife.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so he was going through all this as well, trying to deal with, well, my wife has survived, which is amazing, but I nearly lost her. So he went to see a psych as well, which I totally recommend. I think,
Yeah.
the carer should. And he had to go through this whole process of, like, letting go of me as well as I became more independent, because he
Mm.
cared for me. There was just so much happening. It was
Yeah.
just such a big year. And then I feel like I got to the 12-month mark and it all went away.
Yeah. Right. There you go.
Yeah.
That's
I
great.
hit, I hit 12 months, I had my review, everything was all good, and it just all went away.
Yeah. Yeah. And look, that's a perfect example of, everyone's got to cope with it differently. That's one thing that, we've got to make clear is there is no two transplant journeys exactly the same. Um,
No.
it sounds like you had a health-wise, you had a good run in that first 12 months, but mentally you struggled. And for other people, it might be the other way around. So
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's really important to realize. And you made the point of always reach out if there's if you're having trouble. There's always people you can reach out to. Obviously, speak to your transplant clinic, speak to your GP.
Yeah.
There's helplines you can call. So yeah, don't go it alone when things get tough, because I know there were stages where I went it alone
Yeah. Yeah.
and it was a much harder road than it needed to be, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. A problem shared is a problem halved.
That's it. That's it.